and today I'm going to be ranking meat and meat substitutes because I've had most of these, including the Beyond Meat. So we'll just get started. So the first one up is bacon. Bacon is one of those things that's kind of divisive. People like to say that bacon is one of the best meats they can ever eat, which don't get me wrong, it's good. It's way overrated in my opinion. Some people would definitely rate this God tier or even S tier. I'm just going to go ahead and put this in a nice, cozy A. It's like a mid 95 for me. This is Morningstar burger patties. Now, there are two camps of vegetarian vegan burgers that I'm aware of anyways that are produced massively. So Morningstar it's aware of what it is. It's not good. It's definitely got a lot of ingredients just like Beyond Burger. But just for the fact that that people understand, like, hey, this is trash food for vegetarians and vegans, I'm going to go ahead and throw that one into a nice solid D and Beyond Burger into an F. Beyond Burger is trying to pretend that it's something else. I don't know if you're watching my channel, you've had Beyond Burgers. They're fine up until after you swallow whatever it is. Then right after that, it's just not enjoyable at all. It's the weirdest aftertaste I've tasted in food. So yeah, I think it's the only vegetarian vegan options that I see besides like tofu and something else. Next up is going to be bratwurst. This is kind of a middle of the road kind of food for me. It's nice to see at a barbecue or just people cooking out. I don't particularly buy brats just out of nowhere. I've got to really want them to get them because number one, they take a long time to cook. Number two, it's just sausage. Like there are better options for sausage than just normal ass bratwurst. I think I'm gonna give that one a B tier. No, actually I'm gonna give it a C just because I know there's better things out there. This looks like catfish. But there's really only one good way that I know of to cook it, and that is deep fried in cornmeal. And don't get me wrong, I've eaten my fair share of catfish. If you can't tell, this body was probably built by catfish when I was younger. But other than that, there's no great way to like prepare this. It's either fried or it's just gummy garbage. So with that, I'm gonna give it a D, just because there's only one way to really prepare it that makes it taste good. If there was more than one option, in my opinion, to make catfish taste good, it'd probably be closer to a B or an A, honestly, because it is a decent fish. The next one, I think that's chicken wings. I hope that's chicken. It looks like chicken wings. Probably one of my favorite forms of chicken. I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people because people don't really know how to cook chicken, but really you can cook chicken wings like with ease. For that, they're going to get a nice S tier. Next up is, what is this? I don't know what this is. It's trash. Wait, is that chicken breast? If this isn't chicken breast, I don't know what it is. But I'm going to assume that it's chicken breast. If it is chicken breast, it's going to get a nice middle of the road C, just because there are plenty of ways to make it taste good. But at the end of the day, it's really hard to make it taste good. It dries out super easy. There's not a lot of fat content. It is what it is. It's middle of the road. It's kind of like a brat. I'm assuming that's lentils. It kind of looks like it. Lentils are fine. They'd make a terrible burger. I don't know why people would make a lentil burger or patty. If you're vegan or vegetarian and you happen to be a member, enlighten me on your lentils experience. But every time I've had them, they just taste like hard black eyed peas. So I'm just going to put them right there. Yeah. These are mussels, I believe. I really enjoy mussels. The only time I've ever eaten mussels really is at the Chinese buffet, and they're covered in cheese. Yeah, I really don't know what else I would do with mussels other than making a white wine pasta dish. Or just eating them like that, I suppose. I'm sure they're fine like that. And since I don't have much experience with them, I'm just going to go ahead and put them in the middle of the road because I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure a lot of people love mussels. Next on the list looks like crab. Crab doesn't look like crab. That's a fucking crab. So crab is amazing. I will eat crab all day long. The only thing I don't like about crab is the insane exterior shell and having to crack it, unless you get a soft shell crab, which that's a completely different food on its own, in my opinion, just because you can eat the whole thing. It's really easy to like incorporate into a lot of dishes. It also just tastes good by itself. And for that, it gets a nice S tier. All right, next up is duck. I haven't really had too much duck in my life, and the couple times I've cooked it myself, I've way overcooked it just because I'm not used to cooking poultry to medium rare. I mean, it tastes fine. It's just, I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and just give it a B. I'm sure if I knew how to cook it better, or if I've had better duck, it'd probably be a lot higher because I could see the application and how good it can be. But for now, it's going to stay in B. And I'm going to keep getting advertisements on this free website that I regret using. Ground beef. If you're a part of this diet, you know that ground beef's a staple for a lot of people just because it's inexpensive and it's easy to make taste good. And honestly, it just tastes good with salt. And for that reason alone, it's going to get a God tier. I probably eat ground beef every single day. That and eggs, typically, are the bulk of my diet. And I know it doesn't look like it right now, but I've been trying to incorporate it back into my diet normally without all the shit that's associated with the ground beef. And, you know, it still tastes good. Like, I haven't gotten tired of it. So, and I think a lot of people aren't really that tired with it. I think they're just tired of doing the same thing with it. And that's why I make the recipes that I do. I'm going to assume that is tuna. You know what? Since I don't know what that is, it kind of looks like an alligator and the picture's so small and I can't really tell. It's going to go in trash for now. Ham. And yeah. Ham was one of those dishes we had when I was a child that every time we had it, I was just kind of disappointed. And not to say that I should be disappointed with the meals I'm having, just because I'm fortunate enough to be able to eat food on a regular basis, because there are a lot of people that don't have that luxury. But ham was one of those ones that just kind of was just like, man, I don't want ham. Like, I want anything else but ham. And the problem with it is that it tastes pretty good, but it's just ham. It's so boring food. Makes a good sandwich. Sucks as dinner. For now, it is going to get a nice D tier. Hot dog. Hot dogs have never been like the biggest thing in my life. Like, we had hot dogs all the time just because they were cheap, but as I've gotten older, I haven't really like sought out hot dogs too often. It's more of like a convenience thing. Like, if it's sitting there and it's been cooked and ready to eat, or even if it's cold, honestly, just kind of, just eat some hot dogs, I guess. But for the fact that there's probably a lot of like shitty ingredients that I probably shouldn't be eating, and that is hyper palatable, probably means that I probably shouldn't be eating it either. God, I don't know where to put this, because they're fine, like they taste good, but at what cost? So I'm just gonna put them at a nice C, a little mid hot dog tier. Lamb chops, I believe. Yeah, those look like some French lamb chops. Lamb, I haven't had too much lamb either, just because I wasn't exposed to it growing up. I don't think I ever had lamb up until, probably the last 6-7 years of my life, and I'm in my mid-30s now. So it's good. It's actually really good meat. I wish I had it more often. I just don't really have access to it like a lot of other people do. But even so, kind of like mussels, like even though I haven't had access to it, I already know the versatility of it and how good it can be. But it's still, I think it's better than mussels just because it's a meatier thing. It tastes better. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in B tier. And again, if I had it more in my life, I probably would rank it higher, but I just don't know that much about it. Kind of like lobster. Look, I've had lobster. Lobster's fine. It's just basically sweet crab, but it's not as good as crab. And I don't know who that pisses off, but I just know that it costs way more than crab too, which is a drawback, but it's just not as good as crab. And for that reason alone, it's going to A. I'm not going to trash it completely because it is pretty damn good, but it's not crab, man. All right, next one is green fish. I don't know what the hell that is, really. Yeah, if that's tuna, I don't know. I can't really tell. So it's going to go there. Here goes another meat substitute, which is mushrooms. I don't look at mushrooms as a meat substitute at all. I look at them as like a flavor enhancer, because a nice roasted mushroom with like something else is fucking awesome. And I'm trying to figure out what it's better than on the list so far. It's definitely better than ham. I would rather eat a bowl of mushrooms than ham. And honestly, I think I'd rather eat it than hot dogs and bratwurst. Yeah, I think mushrooms are going B tier. It's an okay meat substitute if that's what you're into, but it's just a good food in general, in my opinion. As far as the nutrient profile, I'm not too sure. I've never really had any issues with mushrooms, but... Okay, now I'm confused because I can't tell if that's mussels or if that's mussels, because they both look the same. I'm just going to assume that this is also mussels for some reason, and whoever made this tier list is stupid. The next one's definitely oysters. I hate oysters. Oysters are so gross. I've eaten oysters if they're cooked, but even then they were like covered in spinach and sauce. So that says a lot. Oysters are gross. If you like oysters, I'm sorry. It's just not for me. I'm just going to go ahead and just throw these in the trash. What is this? Is this turkey? Is this like a turkey loaf? I hope that's not a turkey loaf. I can't tell what half this shit is. I think that's turkey. Oh, this is pork. This is a pork loin. Pork loin, it kind of sucks. It's dry. It's versatile, but it still kind of sucks. It's like the chicken breast of pork. So I'm just going to throw that in C just because, I still don't know if that's chicken breast, but whatever. Next up is salmon. It looks like a nice roasted salmon. Salmon's one of those things. It's very unctuous. It's tasty all the time. It's super, you can keep it as simple as possible and it's still going to be pretty damn good. It's fatty, flaky. What's not to like about it, honestly? I don't eat much fish, but if I do eat fish, it's typically salmon. And for that, I'm going to put it right next to the ground beef. These look like little breakfast sausages. Breakfast sausages are kind of akin to the bratwurst and hot doggy kind of things. However, I will say that my favorite thing to cook is breakfast, and it always will be. I'd love to open like a breakfast diner one day, but if I'm gonna eat a sausage, like I would rather eat this any time of day compared to a bratwurst or a hot dog. And so I'm gonna go put that A, just because I know it's gonna be more satisfying to me. You probably disagree, just because they're also probably full of bullshit, just like these hot dogs and bratwursts are, but it's whatever. Scallops are amazing. The only problem I have with scallops is that you pretty much have to eat them raw at a certain point, and if you overcook them, you might as well not eat them because they're just bouncy balls after that. But they're damn good if they're done right, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in A. I don't know what that is. That could be like 19 different things, and for that, it's going to go right in the trash because I don't know what I'm looking at. Shrimp is fantastic. That's probably the most of the seafood I eat is probably shrimp. And again, it's one of those things you could do like 40 different ways, or if you watch Forrest Gump, you could do it like 100,000 different ways. So shrimp's going into God tier, in my opinion. Oh, this is just steak. Steak's always going to be good. If you're mad at a steak, it's because you've had too much of that one steak. So if you have like one particular steak over and over again, you'll get tired of it. But there's so many steaks to choose from that I don't see how you could do that. So steaks, again, it's one of those things you could literally just throw salt on it and it'll be a fantastic dish. But you can also just change it up so much. This one's definitely God tier. Where did it go? Uh-oh. Did it freeze? Oh no, it's frozen. Please don't do this. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Swordfish. If you've ever read Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain, he talks about finding the biggest tapeworms he's ever seen in swordfish, or something to that effect. If I can find the quote, I'll put it on the screen. But I've had swordfish once, and the whole time I was eating it, that's all I could think about. I probably still won't eat it just because I think about that often. And yeah, it's going to go in the trash for me. Dude, there's so many ads on this website. Swordfish is not for me, so it's going in the trash. Next up looks like tofu. Tofu is fine in certain situations. I definitely don't just go and buy it to eat it. If it happens to be in something, I'll eat it. I don't really pick it out. But it's just one of those neutral things that doesn't really taste like much, so you can do a lot with it. But again, it's just another substitute, and I think it's on par with these Morningstar burgers and these lentils. So that's where it's going. I don't know what that is. That kind of looks like seared tuna. So if this is the case, I'm going to put this into C. What did I say earlier? I don't know. I'm going to put it into B tier just because it tastes really good. It is very lean, but you can also make it you can marinate stuff like this. You can also, just searing it is fantastic. It's one of the raw fish that I actually like to eat. So yeah, it'll just stay there and B tier for now. And then last looks like roasted turkey, I hope. I can't really tell. Roasted turkey is really good if it's done well. It's really, really bad if it's done poorly. So that kind of, I feel like that puts it in the middle ground somewhere. Plus, nobody's just eating it year round. Like, I don't know anybody that goes out and buys a turkey just to roast for a dinner, unless it's Thanksgiving or like a holiday. So yeah, I'm gonna actually put this in D tier just because it's it's not good. It's not bad, but it can be very bad. So yeah, it looks pretty good to me. This website's terrible. There's nothing but 15 different ads on it, but I got through it. Let me know what you think. Is your tier list going to look similar to mine? I don't know. Just comment down below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. If I should do more things like this, give me your opinion on anything I should do. Honestly, I'd love to give you more content. I just need more ideas. I had fun with this. The website was terrible, but I got through it. And, oh, there it goes again. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. See y'all soon.